Okay, one more quick update. I had a comment this morning reminding me that I was going to do the off-season procedure for Football Time Second Edition. I have done it. It had been created and written in my notebook, but I'd forgotten to type it up and add it to the thing. So for those who want, who again enjoy the Football Time game, there's a couple of things that changed in this update. So this is an update. You can go grab it again off the thing. A couple of things have changed. The big change was I added the conversion charts. So there's team creation is here, and you have an option of what method you want to do to create your players, right? And then of course how to rate teams from that. But then there's conversion charts for those who don't know how to convert your big country football teams to this edition, but also how to convert your FT2E teams into big country football, so you can play like your championship games, your playoff games using a full football simulator. And so that's here too. That'll help you make your FTE teams into big country teams. But again, in the notebook, I just had not had a chance to sit down and type it up. So again, I got that done real quick. And here it is: Football Times off-season procedure. I don't know why that's popping up. Football Times off-season procedure. When you've completed your season, you will want to proceed to the next campaign. But first, every team in the league must undergo change. FT2E uses abstract method to change and modify teams. There is no actual draft or free agency or trades. The changes that occur to the teams can be seen as all of the above, depending on your own imaginings. Why a player changes and why a unit changes, you can imagine why. Now the question is, what method of rating players are you using? And use the appropriate method to, I got a typo there, method to re-rate players. If you are not using a 3-digit rating formula for your players, then skip step 1. So if you're using in the team creation, I give 3 formulas. I advise the triple-digit formula because it's going to allow you to see the value of players change. If you use the ones and zeros method, the coin flip, or however you want to decide your 1-0 data, and again, you're still gonna convert it to a 0 or 1 for your tally. But I would keep your players. If you literally have a quarterback, John Smith, and you've rolled him up and he's a 492, you want to keep him there as a 492 as a 0. Because if he improves the next year, he could jump up to a 5 something and he becomes a 1, right? Okay. So you'd skip step 1 if you're not using that procedure. It's pointless. You're not going to adjust those players. But if you do use a 3-digit number, the worst team in the league must subtract .035 from every. So that's 35 points from every player, right? So you would subtract. So that same guy, 492 minus 35 points becomes a 4-6. So he's actually getting worse. He's getting further away from becoming a 1, right? But you would do this for every the worst team in the league only. This would be the absolute worst team. Everybody regresses. It's a losing franchise. It's a losing culture. The coaches stink. The players have given up. Everybody suffers. Losing teams subtract 25. Same thing, right? The culture, they're down and out, right? Even teams, they're still going to subtract .15, or basically 15 points from that 3-digit number for every player on the team, because again, there is regression between seasons, etc. Winning teams will get to add 20, .20 20 points to every player on the team. This is, of course, because the culture is winning. They're looking forward to next year. They are starting to come together and gel as a football team, even if they haven't won the championship. And championship teams, of course, have proved their mettle. Players are starting to reach their highest potentials, and they're dreaming of a second ring, back-to-back champs, so to speak. So that's how you rate. If you use the 3-digit system, step 1 must be done. Step 2, again, if it's a losing team, you get to re-rate in whatever method you use to re-rate any 5 players. So you can literally take your 5 worst players and roll them over. However, of course, rolling a player over could be worse. You can actually get a worse player. These would be represented by free agent changes, free agent losses, players aging, whatever narrative you want to use to explain why a guy goes up or down, or just change his name completely. And, like you got a guy who's like a 25-point guard. I'm cutting that dude. I'm just going to roll over. I'm bound to get something better than a 25, right? 250 or whatever it is. Okay. Anyway, so you get to do this, but When you do that, you must keep the new re-rated players. So make sure you choose the five worst players on your team if you're the worst, if you're a losing team. Step 3, third, even record teams can re-roll 2 new players as above. So select 2 and roll them over. That's it. So teams that are even basically get to select their 2 worst players and make a gamble to improve them. Not improve them, but to replace them. Step 4, winning and championship teams must re-roll their 2 highest players. This reflects change in the players lost to free agency, etc. So yeah, if I have a 962 quarterback and he's my highest player on the team, I must re-roll him. That reflects that he either declines or he leaves or he retires or whatever. You have to re-roll him, and you pray to God you re-roll something that keeps him at least a +1. And again, your second highest guy you're going to do this with as well. All right, so that just reflects what happens to winning teams. They are pilfered. They generally lose free agents. They can't keep them. Again, you can use whatever narrative to explain why 2 team players completely change. You can just re-roll a quarterback and take his new number and say the guy's aged or the guy's had a bad year or whatever. Don't care. It's your narrative. It's your teams or your leagues. Step 5, now that every team has undergone changes, you must regrade both sides. So then, of course, once you retally them, remember you want to change them into the 1-0. So you can have this number, but then you need to change them into a 1 or 0, and then you need to tally them to get your grade for your offense and your defense. This is true for both the Canadian game and the pro game, the American game. And then, of course, step 6, now you're ready for the next season. Have fun, good luck, may the best team win. And there you have it, and then there's the back page if you're printing these documents out. So again, the Football Time 2E is completely done, and thank you for the reminder. Had it done, I just needed to sit down here and type it up, and I have done so this morning. It is available. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.